Let's talk about the power of mindset, the defining force between those who rise to greatness and those who remain stuck in mediocrity. You see, it's not the resources, the connections, or even the education that truly separates the rich from the poor. It's the mindset, the way one sees the world and their place in it. When we speak about the perspective on opportunity, we're diving into one of the most fundamental differences between a rich mindset and a poor mindset. Opportunity is not something that simply presents itself equally to everyone, but rather it is something that each person either sees or misses based on how they think. The rich mindset is tuned to identify opportunities in every situation, while the poor mindset tends to overlook them, or worse, dismiss them altogether. This difference in perspective is what separates those who thrive from those who merely survive. A person with a rich mindset approaches the world with an understanding that opportunities are abundant. They believe that even in the most challenging situations, there is always a hidden chance to grow, improve, or succeed. This perspective opens their mind to possibilities that others may never consider. They are not constrained by circumstances because they do not view obstacles as permanent. They understand that challenges are temporary and that with creativity and perseverance, solutions will reveal themselves. This belief system empowers them to turn every situation into a potential stepping stone. Contrast this with the poor mindset, where the focus is often on limitations. Someone with a poor mindset sees the world as a place of scarcity, where opportunities are few and far between. They are more likely to view difficulties as insurmountable barriers rather than as puzzles to solve. This mindset is often rooted in fear of failure, fear of the unknown, and fear of taking risks. As a result, they stay stuck in familiar patterns, hesitant to explore new possibilities. They see others succeeding and think, that could never be me, because they are blind to the opportunities right in front of them. A rich mindset, however, doesn't rely on external validation. People with this mindset believe that they create their own opportunities. They don't wait for circumstances to change or for someone to give them a chance. Instead, they actively seek out ways to turn their current situation into something better, whether it's through networking, learning new skills, or investing in personal growth. They understand that opportunity is something they can generate. They see life as a game of strategy where every move, every decision has the potential to unlock greater possibilities. Moreover, the rich mindset doesn't limit itself to conventional ideas of opportunity. It's not just about making money or advancing a career, it's about growth in all areas of life. Whether in personal relationships, health, or spiritual fulfillment, the rich mindset is always asking, how can I make this better? This is why people with a rich mindset often appear to be more successful in multiple facets of their lives. They approach everything with the same lens of abundance and possibility, and this consistently leads them to new avenues of success. For the poor mindset, on the other hand, opportunity is often viewed as something external, something that must be given or allowed by someone else. There's a belief that certain people are lucky or privileged, and that without those advantages, success is out of reach. This type of thinking not only limits their potential, but also fosters resentment and bitterness. Instead of looking for ways to create their own opportunities, they remain stuck, waiting for a break that may never come. This passive approach keeps them trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction. Another crucial element is how each mindset interprets failure. The rich mindset sees failure as a necessary step in the path towards success. It is viewed as feedback, a learning experience that provides valuable insights into how to improve. When an opportunity doesn't pan out, they don't retreat, they recalibrate. They are constantly refining their approach, understanding that failure is not the opposite of opportunity, but a part of the process. This resilience allows them to seize more opportunities because they are not deterred by setbacks. In stark contrast, the poor mindset often interprets failure as a sign to stop trying. If an attempt to seize an opportunity doesn't go as planned, they may take it as confirmation that success is not meant for them. This mindset leads to a fear of failure, which in turn causes paralysis. Opportunities pass them by because they are too afraid to take the risks necessary to capitalize on them. Rather than learning from failure, they avoid situations where they might fail, cutting themselves off from growth. People with a rich mindset also understand the value of preparation. They know that opportunity often comes disguised as hard work or even adversity. Therefore, they are constantly preparing themselves mentally, emotionally, and physically to recognize and act on opportunities when they arise. They invest in their education, their skills, and their networks because they know that the more prepared they are, the more likely they are to spot opportunities that others miss. They understand that opportunity doesn't always knock loudly sometimes. It's a faint whisper that only those who are ready can hear. On the other hand, a poor mindset is often reactive rather than proactive. Instead of preparing for opportunities, they wait for them to appear before deciding whether to take action. This reactive approach often results in missed chances because by the time they recognize an opportunity, it's too late. They may lack the skills, the knowledge, or the resources to take advantage of it. This reinforces their belief that opportunities are scarce, further entrenching them in a cycle of missed possibilities and regret. The rich mindset also thrives on the idea of abundance. People who possess this mindset believe that there is more than enough opportunity to go around. They don't view success as a zero-sum game, where one person's gain is another person's loss. Instead, they understand that success breeds more success. They are open to collaboration, mentorship, and sharing knowledge because they know that these actions create even more opportunities. This abundance mentality allows them to build stronger networks and attract more opportunities into their lives. The poor mindset, by contrast, often operates from a place of scarcity. There's a belief that opportunities are limited, and if someone else succeeds, it diminishes their own chances. This scarcity mentality fosters competition rather than collaboration and can create an environment of distrust. Instead of seeing the success of others as inspiration, they may feel threatened by it. This further limits their ability to spot opportunities because they are focused on protecting what little they believe they have rather than seeking ways to create more. Perspective on opportunity is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe opportunities are abundant and accessible, you will naturally start to see them all around you. If you believe they are scarce and out of reach, your mind will filter out the possibilities that could change your life. It's not about what's out there, it's about how you see what's out there. When we talk about the attitude toward risk, we're really diving into the mindset that determines how a person approaches life's challenges and uncertainties. Risk is an inherent part of life, yet how we perceive it, how we respond to it, can significantly shape the trajectory of our lives. For those with a rich mindset, risk is viewed as an opportunity, an essential element in achieving growth and success. For those with a poor mindset, however, risk is something to be avoided, often perceived as a danger that could result in loss or failure. This fundamental difference in attitude toward risk can make or break one's journey toward prosperity. A person with a rich mindset sees risk as a necessary ingredient for reward. They understand that in order to gain something valuable, whether it's financial wealth, personal growth, or career advancement, there must be an element of risk involved. They don't shy away from it, rather, they embrace it. They know that staying in a comfort zone guarantees one thing: stagnation. Taking calculated risks is the only way to break free from limitations and explore new possibilities. They view risk as a stepping stone, something that, when navigated carefully, can lead to extraordinary outcomes. However, the poor mindset views risk through a lens of fear and anxiety. Those with this mindset often see risk as something that threatens their current stability, no matter how limited or unsatisfying that stability may be. The fear of losing what little they have prevents them from reaching for more. They stay within the confines of what they know, unwilling to step into the unknown. The poor mindset is risk-averse, clinging to security, even if that security is just an illusion that keeps them stuck in mediocrity. This fear of risk paralyzes them, keeping them from exploring the potential that lies beyond their comfort zone. The rich mindset, on the other hand, understands the concept of calculated risk. This doesn't mean they take reckless gambles. Far from it. They are strategic about the risks they take, assessing potential rewards against possible losses. They do their homework, gathering information, analyzing trends, and considering various outcomes before making a move. But once they've done their due diligence, they don't hesitate to act. They know that no matter how much preparation is done, there will always be a level of uncertainty. Yet they are willing to take that leap because they believe in the possibility of success. The poor mindset, by contrast, often confuses calculated risk with recklessness. They may view any kind of risk as dangerous, regardless of how well thought out it may be. This mindset is rooted in the fear of failure. To them, the potential loss outweighs the potential gain. They become fixated on what could go wrong, rather than envisioning what could go right. As a result, they often miss out on opportunities that could significantly improve their lives. They fail to understand that without some level of risk, there can be no real progress. People with a rich mindset are comfortable with uncertainty. They understand that the future is never guaranteed, and they accept this as a natural part of the journey towards success. Instead of being deterred by what they don't know, they focus on what they can control, how they prepare, how they respond, and how they adapt. They are flexible, willing to adjust their plans as new information arises, but they are not paralyzed by indecision. This adaptability in the face of uncertainty is what allows them to navigate risks successfully and seize opportunities that others might overlook. In contrast, those with a poor mindset struggle with uncertainty. The unknown is frightening, and because they can't predict the outcome with complete certainty, they would rather not venture into new territory at all. This fear of the unknown keeps them confined to familiar routines and environments, even if those environments offer little room for growth. They want assurances, guarantees, and certainties that simply don't exist in the real world. As a result, they often choose to do nothing, paralyzed by the possibility of failure or loss, even if the risks are minimal compared to the potential rewards. A rich mindset also views failure as part of the process. They understand that not every risk will pay off, but they don't see failure as the end of the road. Instead, they view it as valuable feedback. If a risk doesn't lead to the desired outcome, they don't dwell on the loss, they analyze what went wrong, learn from the experience, and move forward with greater wisdom. This resilience in the face of failure is what allows them to take on even bigger challenges, knowing that each setback is a stepping stone toward eventual success. Those with a poor mindset, however, view failure as something to be avoided at all costs. To them, failure is not just a setback, but a reflection of their worth and abilities. They take it personally, internalizing failure as a sign that they are not capable or deserving of success. This fear of failure often leads them to avoid taking any risks at all. They would rather stay in their current situation, no matter how unfulfilling, than face the possibility of failure. This mindset traps them in a cycle of inaction, preventing them from growing and evolving. Another key difference is how each mindset approaches risk as an investment. The rich mindset understands that risk often comes with a cost, whether that's time, money, or effort. However, they see this cost as an investment in their future. They are willing to put in the work and make sacrifices today for the possibility of greater rewards tomorrow. They recognize that short-term discomfort or loss is often necessary for long-term gain. This mindset allows them to take bold actions that can lead to significant growth and success over time. In contrast, the poor mindset often views risk as a loss rather than an investment. They focus solely on what they have to give up in the present and are reluctant to make sacrifices, even if those sacrifices could lead to a better future. They want to hold on to what they have now, fearing that if they take a risk and fail, they will be worse off than before. This short-sightedness prevents them from seeing the potential benefits of taking a calculated risk. Instead of investing in their future, they hold on tightly to the present, afraid of what they might lose. People with a rich mindset are also more likely to surround themselves with others who encourage risk-taking and growth. They understand that the company they keep can influence their own attitudes toward risk. By aligning themselves with mentors, colleagues, and peers who embrace risk and success, they create an environment where taking risks is normalized and encouraged.
This support system helps them navigate challenges, providing advice, feedback, and motivation to keep pushing forward, even in the face of uncertainty.
On the other hand, those with a poor mindset often gravitate toward people who reinforce their fear of risk. They surround themselves with others who share the same scarcity mentality, who are also afraid to take chances or step outside their comfort zones. This creates an echo chamber of fear and doubt, where risk is seen as something to be avoided at all costs. In such an environment, any inclination to take a bold step is quickly discouraged, further cementing the poor mindset's aversion to risk and opportunity. When we examine the difference between wealth creation and survival, we're essentially looking at two contrasting approaches to life. One is driven by abundance, the other by scarcity. Those focused on wealth creation think expansively. They're constantly looking for ways to grow, improve, and expand their resources. Their mindset is future-oriented, filled with optimism and ambition. In contrast, those focused on survival operate from a position of fear and limitation. Their primary concern is protecting what they have, holding on to enough just to get by. This creates a major divide in how people pursue their goals and navigate their circumstances. Wealth creation starts with a mindset that recognizes opportunities where others see obstacles. Those who focus on building wealth are always scanning their environment for ways to increase their resources. They don't just rely on their current situation. They believe they can create more value, more money, and more opportunities by leveraging their skills, knowledge, and connections. To them, wealth isn't just about accumulating money. It's about generating ongoing growth and expanding their influence, business, and networks. This proactive approach enables them to turn ideas into assets and challenges into stepping stones toward greater success. In contrast, the survival mindset is more reactionary. It's about making decisions based on the immediate circumstances and ensuring that the basic necessities are met. Those with a survival mentality tend to focus on avoiding loss rather than seeking gain. They are more concerned with maintaining what they have rather than multiplying it. This mindset often comes from a place of scarcity, where every resource, whether it's money, time, or energy, feels limited. People who think in terms of survival are less likely to take risks or invest in long-term growth because their primary goal is to make it through the present moment. A key distinction between these two mindsets is how they handle time. People with a wealth creation mindset see time as an asset, something that can be invested wisely for greater returns in the future. They understand that building wealth is a process that takes time, effort, and patience. They're willing to put in the work now to reap the rewards later. This long-term perspective allows them to make strategic decisions, even if those decisions don't provide immediate gratification. They focus on where they want to be in 5, 10, or 20 years, rather than just the next month. On the other hand, those in survival mode often view time as something they must endure rather than something they can leverage. They're focused on immediate needs, paying bills, keeping the lights on, getting through the day. This short-term thinking keeps them trapped in a cycle of reacting to their current circumstances rather than planning for a better future. Because they're so focused on surviving the present, they struggle to invest in opportunities that could lead to long-term growth. This time becomes something they have to manage carefully, making sure they don't run out before their basic needs are met. The wealth creation mindset is rooted in abundance thinking. These individuals believe there is more than enough to go around and that they can create additional wealth without taking away from anyone else. They see the world as full of possibilities and understand that, with the right strategy and effort, they can generate new income streams and expand their resources. This belief in abundance drives them to take action, seek out opportunities, and invest in themselves. They know that creating wealth isn't a zero-sum game, and they are always looking for ways to add value to the world and, in turn, to their own lives. The survival mindset, on the other hand, is often driven by scarcity thinking. These individuals believe that resources are limited and that there's only so much to go around. This causes them to cling tightly to what they have, afraid that if they lose it, there won't be a way to get it back. Scarcity thinking creates a sense of competition, where people feel they must fight for their share or risk being left with nothing. Instead of focusing on ways to grow and expand, they focus on preserving what they have, fearing that any risk might result in complete loss. Another difference between wealth creation and survival is the relationship with money. Those focused on wealth creation see money as a tool. They understand that money can be used to create more wealth if managed properly. To them, money is not something to be hoarded or feared, but something to be invested, grown, and leveraged. They are willing to take calculated risks with their money because they believe in their ability to generate more. This mindset allows them to spend money on education, opportunities, and experiences that can lead to greater wealth in the long term. In contrast, those with a survival mentality often have a fearful relationship with money. They see it as something fragile, something that can easily slip through their fingers if they're not careful. Because they're focused on survival, they are often more concerned with saving every penny and avoiding financial risk. This cautious approach can limit their ability to grow wealth because they are not willing to invest in the things that could create more money in the future. Their relationship with money is defensive, rooted in the belief that there's never enough, and they must protect what little they have. When it comes to decision-making, the wealth creation mindset is proactive and opportunity-focused. Individuals with this mindset make decisions based on where they want to be, not where they currently are. They are willing to take calculated risks, explore new ventures, and step into the unknown because they understand that growth requires bold action. They see their choices as stepping stones toward a bigger vision, and they make decisions with the long-term outcome in mind. This forward-thinking approach allows them to capitalize on opportunities that others might miss. Those with a survival mindset, however, tend to make decisions based on fear and caution. Their choices are driven by a desire to avoid loss and maintain their current position. This often leads them to miss out on opportunities that could help them grow, simply because they are too focused on the immediate risks. Their decision-making process is reactive, focused on solving short-term problems rather than creating long-term solutions. This keeps them in a constant state of anxiety, always wondering if they'll be able to make it through the next challenge without losing what little they have. Another key distinction between wealth creation and survival is how each mindset views growth. Those focused on wealth creation are always looking for ways to grow, whether it's growing their business, expanding their knowledge, or improving their personal skills. They understand that growth is the key to success and are willing to invest in their own development to achieve it. They see every challenge as an opportunity to learn, improve, and expand their capacity. This growth-oriented mindset drives them to continuously seek out new ways to elevate their lives and create more wealth. The survival mindset, on the other hand, often resists growth because growth requires change, and change can be risky. Instead of looking for ways to improve and expand, they focus on maintaining the status quo. Growth feels uncomfortable to them because it requires stepping outside of what is known and familiar. Rather than embracing the potential that growth brings, they prefer to stick with what they know, even if it means staying in a situation that is less than ideal. This resistance to growth keeps them in a cycle of stagnation, where survival becomes the primary goal rather than progress. Finally, the wealth creation mindset is rooted in a belief in possibility. Those who focus on building wealth believe that they have the power to create the life they want. They see themselves as capable, resourceful, and worthy of success. This belief fuels their ambition and drives them to take action, even when the odds seem stacked against them. They believe that with hard work, dedication, and the right mindset, they can achieve their goals and create a life of abundance. In contrast, the survival mindset is often limited by self-doubt and fear. Those in survival mode often question their own abilities and worthiness. They are more likely to believe that success is for other people, not for them. This lack of belief in their own potential keeps them from taking the bold steps necessary to create wealth and prosperity. Instead, they focus on just getting by, rather than striving for more. The concept of long-term vision versus instant gratification represents a fundamental difference in how people approach their goals, finances, and decisions. Those with a long-term vision are willing to sacrifice short-term pleasures in exchange for future rewards. They understand that success is often the result of consistent effort, planning, and patience. They are focused on the bigger picture, always thinking ahead about the impact of their actions today on their future. On the other hand, those driven by instant gratification are primarily focused on the here and now. Their decisions are often dictated by what feels good in the moment, without much thought for the long-term consequences. This contrast in mindset shapes the outcomes in people's lives in significant ways. When someone operates with a long-term vision, they are guided by a clear sense of purpose and direction. They know where they want to go, and every decision they make is aligned with that vision. Whether it's saving money, investing in their education, or building relationships, they are always thinking about how their choices today will affect them tomorrow. This foresight gives them an edge because it allows them to anticipate obstacles, plan accordingly, and stay on course even when challenges arise. They understand that delayed gratification is key to achieving substantial, lasting success. Conversely, those who are driven by instant gratification often find themselves making decisions based on temporary desires or impulses. Instead of saving money for future investments, they might spend it on unnecessary luxuries. Instead of investing time in personal growth or skill development, they might indulge in distractions that provide momentary pleasure. The problem with this approach is that it rarely leads to lasting fulfillment or success. While satisfying short-term desires may feel good in the moment, it often comes at the expense of long-term progress. People who constantly seek instant gratification often find themselves stuck in a cycle of short-term highs followed by long-term setbacks. The long-term vision mindset is deeply connected to discipline. Those who are focused on their future goals understand that discipline is necessary to achieve them. They practice self-control, even when tempted by immediate pleasures, because they know that staying committed to their vision will bring greater rewards in the future. Whether it's resisting the urge to spend money impulsively, avoiding unhealthy habits, or sticking to a demanding routine, they have the strength to push through temporary discomfort in order to achieve long-term success. Their ability to delay gratification is a key factor that sets them apart from those who live in the moment. In contrast, those who prioritize instant gratification often struggle with discipline. Their focus on immediate rewards makes it difficult for them to stick to long-term plans or maintain consistent habits. They may start projects with enthusiasm, but lose motivation when results don't come quickly enough. Because they expect quick returns, they become easily discouraged when things take longer than anticipated. This lack of discipline often leads to a cycle of unfulfilled goals and frustration, as they constantly shift from one short-term desire to the next without ever making substantial progress toward their larger aspirations. One of the most noticeable differences between these two mindsets is how they approach financial decisions. Those with a long-term vision are strategic about their money. They save and invest with the future in mind, understanding that financial security and wealth are built over time through smart decisions and patience. They prioritize building assets, creating multiple streams of income, and ensuring that their money works for them in the long run. Their financial discipline often leads to significant wealth accumulation, not because they seek immediate financial gains, but because they understand the power of compounding growth and delayed rewards. On the other hand, those who seek instant gratification tend to make financial decisions that provide immediate pleasure or relief. They may spend impulsively on things they don't really need, prioritize short-term luxuries over long-term security, or avoid investing because it doesn't offer immediate returns. Their focus on the present often leaves them unprepared for future financial challenges, and they may struggle to build the kind of wealth that requires long-term planning and patience. Over time, their inability to delay gratification can lead to financial stress and instability, as they find themselves living paycheck to paycheck without a clear plan for the future. Another area where long-term vision plays a critical role is in personal development. Those with a long-term perspective understand that success is a journey that requires constant growth and learning. They are willing to invest in their education, skills, and personal growth, knowing that these investments will pay off in the future. Whether it's taking the time to read, attending workshops, or learning new skills, they see personal development as a lifelong commitment. They know that the knowledge and abilities they acquire today will serve them for years to come, helping them navigate challenges and seize opportunities as they arise. In contrast, those focused on instant gratification often neglect personal development because it doesn't offer immediate rewards. They may avoid challenging themselves or learning new things because the benefits are not immediately visible. Instead, they focus on activities that provide instant entertainment or distraction, even if those activities don't contribute to their long-term growth. Over time, this mindset can lead to stagnation as they miss out on the opportunities that come from continual self-improvement. Their focus on the short term prevents them from developing the skills and knowledge needed to succeed in the future. Health and well-being are other areas where the contrast between long-term vision and instant gratification is stark. Those with a long-term mindset understand that taking care of their body and mind is essential for a prosperous future. They are willing to make sacrifices today, whether it's eating healthy, exercising regularly, or managing stress to ensure they remain strong and vibrant as they age. They understand that health is the foundation of success, and they prioritize it because they know that without good health, long-term wealth and happiness are difficult to maintain. On the other hand, those who prioritize instant gratification often make health decisions that provide short-term pleasure but lead to long-term consequences. They may indulge in unhealthy foods, avoid exercise, or engage in habits that harm their well-being because these choices offer immediate comfort or enjoyment. Over time, these decisions can lead to serious health issues, which not only affect their quality of life but also hinder their ability to pursue their long-term goals. By focusing on short-term pleasure, they sacrifice the long-term vitality that is necessary for sustained success. Another critical area where long-term vision and instant gratification differ is in relationships. Those with a long-term vision understand that meaningful relationships require time, effort, and commitment. They are willing to invest in the people who matter most to them, knowing that strong, supportive relationships are a key component of a successful and fulfilling life. Whether it's nurturing a marriage, building lasting friendships, or developing professional networks, they take the time to cultivate relationships that will stand the test of time. Conversely, those driven by instant gratification may struggle to build deep, lasting relationships because they are often focused on what they can get in the moment. Their interactions may be more transactional, focused on immediate benefits rather than long-term connection. They may avoid the hard work required to maintain relationships, such as resolving conflicts or making sacrifices for others, because those efforts don't provide instant rewards. Over time, this can lead to shallow relationships that don't offer the support or fulfillment that comes from long-term connections built on trust and mutual respect. Career development is another area where long-term vision shines. Those who think long-term in their careers are willing to put in the time and effort to develop the skills, experience, and networks that will lead to success over time. They understand that career growth is not always linear, and that it often requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to learn from setbacks. They don't expect overnight success, but are focused on building a strong foundation that will support their career for years to come. Those who seek instant gratification in their careers, however, may become frustrated when they don't see immediate results. They may jump from job to job, seeking quick promotions or pay raises, without taking the time to build the skills or relationships needed for long-term success. Their focus on short-term gains can lead to burnout or dissatisfaction as they chase after immediate rewards without considering how their choices will affect their future career trajectory.